Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you another video. This one is gonna be a little bit about automating some work, making your life easier. So most of the time when I wake up and start my morning, my work morning, I end up opening multiple programs, Safari, Visual Studio, the terminal, Command Prompts, etc, etc, etc. And it has get to a point where I'm doing that every single day. So I decide to make my life easier and make a bash file. And this bash file is gonna take care of opening all these files or opening all these programs really easy for me without having to wait for every single one of them. I just have to press a button maybe on my Stream Deck and everything opens up. So let's start with that. Let's open Visual Studio and I show you guys how to do it. Okay, once Visual Studio is open, we're gonna create a file in here. You can create it anywhere you want. Eventually you can move it to a easy place where you can have access real quick, maybe in your desktop, and you already know right there that is right there. You can just double click it with it. For now, let's create it right here. So we're gonna create a new file and I'm gonna call it just morning, and we're gonna do a .bat, B-A-T. Once that file is created, we're gonna start our file with writing add echo off, and then you're gonna write a star in the name of whatever program you wanna open. In my case, I'm gonna try to open Visual Studio. After that, right here, we're gonna be putting the file path to the Visual Studio X. It can be two different files. It can be a X or it can be a LNQ. To get that path, what you can do is go to your start menu and you're gonna look for that program you want to open. In my case, Visual Studio. Visual Studio, and it's gonna show up right away in there. I'm gonna right click it and I'm gonna open it in file location. Most of the time you're gonna see that. Even if I do these ones down here, open in file location. Once it opens, you can right click it and then copy as a path, or you can do properties and you can copy the target. Let's do the target for now, and we're gonna paste it right away in there. Now we're gonna save it. Now we're gonna go to wherever I have that file. We're gonna go to that location where that file is at. So I'm gonna right click it and gonna do reveal in File Explorer, and we can see it that we have it in here. So at the moment, let's close Visual Studio so that way we can see it actually working, and we're gonna right click that file. After a couple seconds, we can see the Visual Studio open right away, and it was just with 2 clicks. And this is just with one single program, but we can do it with multiples. So we're gonna do a star, and we're gonna start Google Chrome. And we're gonna do the same. We're gonna look for Google Chrome in the start menu. We're gonna do Google Chrome. We're gonna right click it and again open in file location. We can see it right there. We're gonna right click it again and copy as a path. We're gonna paste it, save it. We're gonna close Visual Studio one more time, and we don't actually need this and we don't need this. So now we're gonna double click it, and now we can see the Visual Studio and Google Chrome open up for us. But if you take a look in here, we can see that we have multiple profiles in here. If you want to get into those profiles, what you want to do is add something else into that command for Chrome. We're gonna type -- profile -- directory equals quotes default con capital D, default. We're gonna save it. We're gonna close one more time Visual Studio. We're gonna try it again. And now we can see that Google Chrome opened in my default profile. This is the default profile, this is my profile. But what will happen if you want to open another different profile? To do that, we need to change default to profile 1, and it's gonna open in the next profile. So you kind of have to test it a little bit. You have to go back and forward if you want to open in a different profile. So if it's profile number 1, it's going to open in one profile, so you may need to change it to profile number 2, and it's going to open the profile number 2. It's going to be a lot of trial and error where you have to check which profile do you want to open exactly. And we can also do where we can open a specific website. To do that, we can do also quotes, and we're gonna open it on Pinterest.com. We're gonna save it, we're gonna close it one more time, and let's do it again. And we can see it that it opened Visual Studio, it opened Google Chrome on Pinterest, and in another different profile number 1. And you can keep adding more and more programs as you need them, and that will make it super simple for you to open it. Like in my case, I have a Stream Deck, and I set it up so wherever I press one button, all the programs that I need for work open up right away, and in the websites or in the places where I want to do it. Also, you can even add times out, so where you want, if you want to wait a little bit of time, you can do that. To do that, we do time out, and whatever time you want to wait. In this case, I want to wait 10 seconds, and I'm gonna do no. We want a space in there, we want to do no, and then I want to open a different program. So in this case, I'm gonna do it again, a start, and I'm gonna open Photoshop. And we're gonna look again for Photoshop in the start menu. Once you have Photoshop, you right click it, open in file location, and copy the path, save it. I'm gonna close it. I'm also gonna close this, and let's wait and see what happens now. So now Visual Studio is open, also Google Chrome, and is waiting 10 seconds. And we can see it down here in the bottom that it's gonna show up Photoshop. There you go. That's a perfect way to open a program without having to press, all those buttons. Now we can take a look in here, and a no file was created because of the timeout. So to fix that, if you end up needing to fix that, what you can do is add another line in the bottom, and you're gonna delete that no file. So we're gonna do delete del, D-E-L, and we're gonna copy the path to the no file. We're gonna paste it in there. Make sure you put quotes into that path. We're gonna close it again, and we're gonna test it. We can see everything is getting open. Visual Studio, Google Chrome. We should be able to see Photoshop, and also the no file was deleted. And Photoshop is open. And that's all. I hope you guys like it. I know it was a really small video, but I wanted to share how I make my life easier, and hopefully you guys can make it too. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, don't forget to do that. Make sure you comment and like this video and show some support. Thank yous, and see you in the next one.